Confessions of a Midwife. Rhoda, congratulations on the birth of your baby girl. We did see you before you had the baby, and you were actually looking forward to labor.
Yeah.
So now that you've experienced your labor,
Yeah.
how was it second time round?
Second time round was quicker than the first. Everything happened so fast. My labor pain started at 11:09 p.m. in the evening. I literally woke up with having like what felt like a period pain basically, and it progressed quite quickly. So I started timing my my contractions with the app that I got free on the Apple store. So my contractions was happening every 5 minutes, and that was consistent until I decided to go to the triage at around 1:30 in the morning. And while I was at home, so I basically decided to stay at home so that I can see how far I can go without having to go to the hospital. So what I did was I went on all fours at home. I was changing positions. I called my labor partner, which was my best friend. She came and she basically helped me through it, drove me to the hospital, and as soon as I got to the hospital, we went up to the birthing center because I was seen as a non-high risk of pregnancy. So they got me into a labor. I wanted water birth, but because it was full, I went into a normal labor room. And as soon as I got into the bed, basically the midwife checked me. I told them how long the contractions have been happening and what time it started, and she checked me and she basically said that I was 10 centimeters dilated.
So you went in fully?
Yes.
Wow.
So I went in fully dilated.
What would your tips be to labor at home? So what would your...
So my tips would be, make sure you're comfortable.
At home.
At home. Mm-hmm. Make sure, one thing that I was thankful for, but I wish I did, was make sure someone is at home, because I'm actually living by myself at the moment because my partner wasn't around. So but thankfully my best friend was only like 10 minutes away. So when I called her, she came in right on time. And make sure that you have all your hospital bags packed. Make sure you have your book, your hospital book, literally everything at one place. And make sure that you teach your friend how to turn the heating off, because my heating was on literally the whole day. But that's not important. But yeah, just make sure that your hospital bags are packed. Make sure that you have somebody with you at the time, or call somebody as soon as your labor starts.
Okay.
So that's one
And
thing.
you said you were active. What were you doing at home to stay active?
So I was at home. I was doing a lot of cleaning, tidying up, and if I'm not doing that, I'd actually go to the park and have a walk around the park. And I'll do that for like sometimes 30 minutes at a time. It depends on how I feel. Or I used to walk to the shop, because where I live, the shop is not far away from me. It was like a 5-10 minutes walk, so I used to walk to the shop. So I was very, very active. And I also have a toddler who is now 3 years old, so she kept me quite active as well.
Now, when the pain started off at home, how did you cope with the pain? What did you do to cope with the contractions?
I did a lot of breathing.
Can you show us some of your breathing techniques?
So I basically make sure that I breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. So which was like, and then I also I packed a lot of pillows on my bed, which I would basically hug when the contractions start. And I also went on all fours on the floor. And when I was breathing, I would make sure that I was in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I was basically arching, and I don't have to explain it. With your like an angry cat, with your butt up in the air. Yes. And on all fours. Yeah, on all fours. Yeah. And then I also taught my friend how to put pressure at the lower back, on my lower back. So basically with her hand here, because when she tried using her whole 5 fingers, it didn't really work for me. And she did the whole rubbing thing. For me, it didn't work for me. So I asked her to use this side of the pressure of her palm, and basically just rub my back. And then that really, I watched it in films and I thought, what's that gonna do? But it actually really does help. It really does help. So that's how I was able to cope with it at home. And the point where I felt like I couldn't cope and I asked for us to go to the hospital was when I felt like I needed to poo. And funny enough, I went to the toilet, and I did pass.
Open your bowels.
Yeah, I did open my bowels, but as soon as I came off the toilet, then the pressure went a bit more. So that's when I told my friend, you know what, let's go to the hospital.
So how did you realize the difference? Like, you had the pressure of opening your bowel, but you
Yes.
also, baby's head was pushing down.
Down, yes.
So
yes.
how did you realize that, you know what, I don't need to go to the toilet? Because a lot of women get confused with the pressure of wanting to use the toilet, but when it's actually baby's head ready to.
So so with me, I felt it more at the front of the vagina.
Okay, you felt the pressure there.
Yeah, I felt the pressure more at the front. So with the what is it? You okay? So with the pressure at the, so it started off as a period pain, and obviously you feel the period pain more in the abdomen, but then as the contraction goes further and further, then you now start feeling the pain lower, down to the vagina and obviously at the back.
Oh, back, yeah.
So when you actually feel like you need to, I guess, use the toilet, which is past bowel movement, you start to feel it more at the front.
Yeah.
Rather than the back.
So when you were feeling this urge to bear down, to push down, that's when you thought,
I thought, no, I need to go to the, and it was really, really uncomfortable. Because I've got quite high pain threshold, but it's really uncomfortable, and you feel like you can't close your leg per se. That's when I felt like, no, I need to go to the hospital.
Did you take any kind of pain relief like paracetamol?
No, I didn't. Because I don't mind taking paracetamol, but I wanted to take it at a point where I felt like it was bad enough for me to take and for it to work. So I tried not going without paracetamol until I got to the hospital, and then obviously everything went pretty fast.
Pretty
from
quick.
there. Yeah.
Now, how did you mentally prepare yourself when the pain kicked in? Did you have, like, you know, coaching yourself? What did you do?
Well, funny enough, when the pain kicked in, I was trying to gauge and listen to my body, and then I actually put a comedy on.
Yes.
So I was watching comedy at the same time.
So diverting your attention from the pain.
And I was asking my birthing partner to talk to me, because when she was talking to me, I was able to kind of concentrate on the subject, but also move my body to help with the pain. But I feel like most of all, I was telling myself that I can do it. That's how I mentally prepared myself, because I told myself, you know what, I know what's happening. I know what I'm getting at the end of it. So all I need to do is just concentrate.
To believe in yourself.
Yes.
Believe in what your body is capable of.
Yes. And I told myself that this time round, I'm going to try and cope with the pain as best as I can. Because the first time round, I was a first time mom. I didn't know how it was supposed to feel. And I was just screaming in pain. And I felt like me doing that the first time actually didn't help my pain. It was more me actually saving that energy for the push. So I was literally just telling myself, I can do it, just breathe through it and listen to the midwives. And actually that was what helped me to go through the whole pushing part of the labor and not gaining any tears or anything like that, because so that's what helped.
So your main tip would be to first-time mum, because you've experienced the whole process of screaming and not being in control, second time being more in control of your body, and this is what helped you this time.
And to be honest, if you do whatever you feel like will help with that, if it's listening to music, if it's talking to somebody, if it's laughing at a comedy, anything at all, just do all of those things. And one thing that also helped was I have a bed warmer on my mattress, so I put that on. It's almost like putting a water bottle on your abdomen when you're on period pain, but I didn't stay on it for long because I felt hot and uncomfortable, and that's when I moved on to the floor with the all fours and everything. And
And did you stay hydrated? Did you remember to?
Yes, I had I actually have a big bottle, 2-liter bottle, so I kept hydrated I was drinking a lot, and yeah, I just made sure, because anyway, I felt like that also calmed me down, because with all the things that was happening on with my body, and also me sleeping on the bed warmer, I felt quite hot. So me drinking and keeping hydrated helped a lot as well.
Great. And at the end of it, you have this beautiful
Yes.
baby. So it's well worth it.
Yes, it is.
And do you have any final advice or tips you'd like to
I
give?
would say
How was your postpartum period after you've had the baby?
my postpartum was interesting. I felt more this time round. When I say I felt more of the contraction pain afterwards, because your body contracts back. Well, starts to contract back.
And especially if you're breastfeeding you'll feel it more. Yeah.
Because every time I was breastfeeding, when she was sucking on, that's when I felt the contractions a bit more.
And that's a good thing. That's your body, the uterus contracting and going back into a ball and going back into hiding where it originally was until next time.
Yeah. And but that only lasted for maybe about 4 or 5 days. And it was interesting as well, because although after that 4 or 5 days, sometimes when she would still breastfeed, I could feel it, but not as much as I did the first few days of her breastfeeding.
And was the breastfeeding a struggle this time, or you?
No, it wasn't. It was quite easy, because I guess maybe from past experience with my first. But I would say don't stress, because although it was quite easy this time, I felt like I almost stressed about it, because I felt that my breast milk wasn't coming in. But I forgot that the first few days it doesn't come in as
it's
much.
colostrum.
Yeah. So I was quite stressed, because I felt that she wasn't full, because she's really much a big eater. So what I did was I just listened to myself, drank a lot of water, and if I needed to, I gave her 1 bottle actually at the hospital, which I requested for, because of how I felt that I wasn't producing. But that was because, like I said, because I was stressing about the fact that my milk wasn't coming in, forgetting that the first few days is just colostrum. But literally when we got home the second day, I just told myself I'll just take my time and allow nature to do its job, which is just help bring my milk in, which she did now. And now she's eating and she's back on a healthy weight. So that's
brilliant.
Good.
Well done to you.
Thank you.
And did you suffer from any baby blues, or you were okay?
I was okay. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I did with my first, but with this one I didn't.
Okay.
And I think that is because I knew that I was prone to having it. So I mentally I told myself that I need to be calm. I've got 2 kids that I need to look after, and I just need to try and make myself be in the best place for my kids. I don't know, because I know it's real to have postpartum depression and stuff, but I think you can also help if you help yourself. Have family around you if you need to, and if you feel like you can't do household work, like I said, at the moment I'm living by myself, so if you can't have household work done, ask people to help you, because if your environment is clean and you feel like you've got things around you and family around you, it also helps kind of for you to not get into postpartum depression as much. So that's what I'm helping myself with, and that's what helped me not get into the baby blues this time round. And I think I'm much more happier. My kids make me happy. My heart is full when my daughter is playing with this little one here. So I don't have the time to maybe think, and then for my body and mental health to go into that. So
happy mummy, happy baby.
Yeah, basically happy mummy, happy baby.
Great.
And it doesn't last for long.
Enjoy this precious moment.
Yeah, because literally when this time is gone, it's gone. I learned that with my first. When it's gone, it's gone. So just try and enjoy it as much as you can, and hopefully that would help
Well, thank you very much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And Rhoda, baby number 3?
No.
No.
No, I'm done. This is it.
Great. Well, enjoy
I don't know
your
what
baby.
God has planned for me, but for me, I'm done.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Enjoy your
thank
baby.
you. Thank you.